I recently went back and watched a bunch of your fights and stuff, and I forgot how good your elbows and knees were too.
Yeah, I had to train, man, because a lot of wrestlers in UFC, you know, and most of the time, sometimes they think that I use the principle of fighting. Like distance is one of the principles that I like to apply, and also the first thing I control the distance, and the guy has to pass my hands. If he pass my kicks, he has to pass my hands, my punches.
Yeah.
If he pass my punch, he has to pass my elbow and knee.
I forgot you threw all those.
Yes.
I watched it. I forgot you always throwing those elbows and
Always.
knees too.
When I fought Tito Ortiz, for example, I knew he's on his belly, and he fell on the ground because I knew that he wanted to grab me all the time. He wanted to do something. Then I kind of I could stop him with that.
People started thinking, oh, his distance is so good. If I can get in on him, I'm okay. And then you do that, or a foot sweep.
Yeah, I love foot sweep. Yeah, because you know in karate point, foot sweep is the maximum point that you can do. That's why I train a lot of foot sweep. If the guy tries to kick me, I foot sweep. If the guy just stand in front of me, I foot sweep too. Yeah. Even in training, I try to do that.
Yeah, because in wrestling we don't really do foot sweeps. So
yeah.
So I get so annoyed when someone foot sweeps me. It's like so embarrassing when someone foot sweeps me.
I saw one guy from wrestling, Stevie Moko, the guy from American Top Team. You know, Moko, the heavy guy. Moko, he loves foot sweep. Man.
Yeah, they're good at something I've never been good. I got what's his name? Akiyama. Remember Sexy Yama?
Akiyama.
I fought him
from
Japan.
From judo, right?
I won the fight, but he launched me. I was so embarrassed for the foot sweep. I flew through the air. But thankfully, the way he throws them, that doesn't hurt because he throws it so perfect. He just lands all soft. And he just launched me with a foot sweep. Yeah,
foot sweep is one of the main tools that I like to use, man. And I can show you a little bit.
No, I'd love to see that because I've never had a good foot sweep. So it's, that would be cool to see a little of that.
That's gonna be good, man.
So what? I know I gave you credit for upsetting karate, but there's been a few other guys that have as well. George St. Pierre,
of course,
Karate Right,
Wonder Boy.
Has been in Page Karate? I think he might do I think karate might be his main style because he fights similar to Wonder Boy, that in and out. So I'm not positive on that one though, but I know Wonder Boy's done a great job representing karate. So it's not fair to say you're the only guy that.
No, he's a karate guy too.
But you're the only, well, because GSP, that wasn't the main thing he was representing either.
Because GSP is kind of well-rounded, you know. He represents a little bit of the wrestling. He's so smart, you know. But he has a background in karate too.
Yeah. To be fair though, everyone's well-rounded. So obviously, though karate is your specialty, you're still good at jiu-jitsu, wrestling, all the different stuff.
Yeah, because for fighting MMA, man, you have to understand that you have to learn everything. So you see people nowadays, I just go in kickbox, man.
No.
Somebody gonna kill you. No. It's a matter of time. No, you can win the first fight, the second fight, the third one, somebody gonna kill you for sure, man. It's a matter of time.
Those days are done. My first fight was 99 and it was still.
Your first fight was 1999?
I came in pretty much just a pure wrestler and won my first fight.
Really?
With a tiny bit of jiu-jitsu. I trained with Chuck Liddell for like a month or something. He showed me, he wasn't really my trainer, but he was just kind of my mentor. He just let me follow him around and like.
So 1999 was your first fight?
Like an Indian reservation. I think it was 2000.
It's a long time ago.
Crazy how long it goes. The sport I watched the sport change so much. And I adapted, I retired like, I think 2020, 21, but I had to constantly be evolving with it.
Yeah.
So I had to keep evolving, or I'd fall behind.
Man, you have a great ground game, man. You have a great ground game.
No, definitely. Definitely not bad jiu-jitsu. Yeah. But it's been, what was your first fight?
My first fight was 2003 in Japan.
Okay, so you fought really early too. Oh, you fought Japan your first fight.
My first fight was in Japan. Because I had a godfather in Japan called Antonio Inoki, the guy who has a great big chain. You know, the Japanese guy, really famous in Japan. He was my godfather. He went to Brazil. He invited me to be a part of his office in Japan. So I used to live in Japan for a year.
Okay.
Then I was working for his office in Japan. Then he put me to fight in a couple events in Japan, like K1 Heroes.
You fought BJ Penn?
I fought BJ Penn, K1
like
Heroes.
So cool that you fought BJ Penn.
I fought in other events in Japan, some big events. Then we kind of parted away, like I went to another manager, and I started a different career. I started to fight in the United States.
And your dad's Japanese, correct?
My dad is a full Japanese guy.
But you were born in Brazil.
I was born in Brazil, yeah.
He seems really strict. Is that correct?
Very
That's not necessarily
strict.
a bad thing, but like.
Yeah, no, but he's very strict.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you know, because of that, I could achieve everything that I achieved. You know?
Yeah, he seemed.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bad thing when you're really strict, but like look what
No.
you accomplished.
Yeah, because
It
you
seemed
know,
like he was very hard on you.
yeah, he was born right after the big war, the second big war, and because of that, he was in charge of rebuild Japan again.
Yeah,
That generation,
they got destroyed really
yeah,
bad.
was very
Two atomic bombs. It wasn't just that
Yes.
either. They were fire
Really
bombs.
bad.
It was
So the
really
Japanese
bad.
in that moment had different spirit, you know. They had the spirit of rebuild Japan again.
Mhm.
So they call Yamato Tamashi. Yamato Tamashi means like the spirit
Yeah.
that you ready for anything.
Mhm.
Then when he went to Brazil, he was raised in Japan.
Yeah.
You know, he
He had
knows.
that- he had that-
he had
that spirit, that warrior spirit.
You know? And because of that, he like raised us very strictly. No, you can't do that. No, if you say something, you gotta do something. No,
Do what you say.
do what you say. You're a man of words.
That's very important. You
Very
know,
important.
I think sticking to your word, and you know that's very important to me. I think a lot of people
Yes.
are losing that, like all over the world.
Of course, man. A lot
Even
of people
in
lose
Japan,
that.
I think a little
Even in
bit. I
Japan,
don't think
yes.
they quite have that same like
Yes.
warrior spirit they did that your father
Yes.
generation.
That's why I always say that the principle of martial arts, maybe it's more important, you know, because the martial art itself is important, but you know, one day everything will pass. Man.
Yeah.
We like 47, you're 46.
Yeah.
No, you cannot compete in the same level that we used to compete.
Yeah, that's what we realize, you know, it's like, physically I almost still have it, but mentally I start losing it. I think
Yeah.
mentally I don't want to get hurt anymore.
Yeah,
That's like,
yes.
I mean, physically I've lost some too. My last fight I lost, and I was thinking, you know, mentally I kind of gave up. And before I was willing to die when I
Yeah.
went there. I went out there with the spirit, really willing to die or kill out there.
Before, right?
Yeah, before. Like,
Because when you were young,
yeah, like I'll die in here, I'll kill in there, and I really would have. My last
Yes.
fight, I felt like I
Yeah.
wasn't willing to die in there, and that's when I realized I should retire.
yeah, it's different mindset, and that's why the philosophy stay with you forever. If you train and you understand the philosophy of martial arts, which includes the principle of life, of martial arts, respect, discipline, perseverance, you know, like stuff like that, you have to continue to practice that in your daily basis. Otherwise, you're not gonna create a relationship.
Yeah, I'm always still trying to make myself a better person.
Yes.
Martial arts helped my life so much. I was kind of a troubled kid, getting in a lot of trouble. As soon as I found martial arts, like, I had something to push my life towards. I became such a better person.
Yes.
From
Me
you,
too.
you from a young age, you were
Yeah, I started
pretty
karate.
much forced on.
Yes, I started karate when I was 4 years old.
What were you doing?
Then I started training jiu-jitsu when I was 15 years old, when I saw Royce Gates for the first time in UFC,
Oh, wow.
1993. Remember 1993, Royce Gates was destroying everyone in the
I
cage.
watched it about 95 or 96.
Oh, really?
I didn't see the first one. I think they saw maybe the fourth one. But I remember being blown away when I saw it.
Yeah, was impressed. Then I started training jiu-jitsu at that time, but my focus was always to fight MMA since that time.
So you wanted to since a little kid.
Since like 15
Going
years
there and
old,
make
I said
karate-
no.
make karate proud.
Yeah, be karate proud. No,
Did you make your father very proud?
of course, of course.
He probably doesn't show a lot of emotion.
Yeah, he doesn't show
But
anything.
you can tell.
But yes,
So I know the
the
Japanese,
way he
the
speaks,
Japanese,
yes.
but you can feel the pride. You can-
Yes.
the smallest compliment is probably the biggest thing from him.
Oh yeah, but he's so like you said, very Japanese guy. You know, when I fought Rashad Evans,
Yeah.
and when I beat Rashad Evans, if you saw the video, he was the guy that didn't celebrate that victory.
But
You know the story, right?
I didn't know. No, I didn't know.
No, he didn't celebrate that victory.
Mhm.
And one report saw that and asked him, "Hey, I want to talk to your father." I said, after fight, he said, "I would like to ask him why he didn't celebrate the victory when he fought, when you beat Rashad." He said, right after the fight, he said, "No, because I was thinking about the Rashad's father. Like I put myself in his place, you know.
Wow.
I didn't like. I won't like if he celebrate the victory in front of me."
Yeah, that's crazy.